I'm going to invite Kurt from Nokia and Esa from Detecon to talk about the state of autonomous networks in a BBF context. Over to you, gentlemen.
All right. Hey, Craig, thanks for the kind introduction. Indeed, my name is Esa Westerinen, and I think you better stop the watch. And I come from Detecon, which is the consulting arm of Deutsche Telekom. And obviously our home base is in Germany, but we are a global company, more than 1,200 consultants in all continents. And within Detecon, I'm principal for autonomous networks. And what does that mean for us as Detecon? It is the autonomous networks level assessment, really to support the telcos to understand where they are, but also more importantly, where we're heading to. It is the transformation design, execution support, and then innovation and use case acceleration. I'm here to get together with Kurt today. So we split our valuable 25 minutes with me kind of more coming with the framework and telco perspective, and then Kurt will jump in more on the solution fitting. I'll keep it really short, but I'm here at your disposal for the whole day. Also, my colleague Alvaro, if you can just raise your hand. So please stop us for further questions, and we're happy to be here and to learn. It's my first time here at the Broadband Forum. So who of you have seen this TM forum approach for autonomous networks or come across earlier? It's a bit higher. Okay, maybe 1/3. Okay, then I think it's fair to start a bit of this vision. And like, if there's like something you should, let's say, like remember from this presentation is that we as technical people, we tend to, let's say, like focus on efficiency and savings, but autonomous networks at the end of the day is all about helping your customers to consume your digital services easier, better. And then all the efficiency and all the, let's say, like business benefits, they will follow. But in short, it is to really automate, make it the improving the experience, the customer facing on top. It is, let's say, like changing the way, let's say, running your networks, self-serving, self-fulfilling, self-assuring. I think this assurance was already discussed this morning. And obviously, providing the data, providing the resources as a service and all platformized. So I mean, these, let's say, like the end state and the vision that TMF and quite a few telcos are now building up. It's about ecosystem, so it's like an open API-based digital ecosystem, and it is like a data-driven decision making. As I think we saw the presentation from Post and Nokia earlier today. And obviously, as mentioned, we as Detecon, typically starting point for us to telcos would be to assess where they are, where they want to go. We rely on this 5 steps in autonomy, starting from manual operations level 0 to all the way to level 5, which is like a fully autonomous. And it's like simply, let's say, like how autonomous is your awareness, the system awareness, the analysis, decision making, execution, and eventually the intent based. The most painful steps would be, let's say, somewhere between level 3 and 4. So that's the moment that basically give the control to the system to really, let's say, like manage the networks and manage the customer experience. But obviously with telco journey, there's like quite a few things to be done before this, and lots of value already gained before. So me myself, I used to work for Elisa Finland 6 years prior to joining Detecon. So I was building these automation workflows with rule-based, deterministic. You can gain so much. We went for zero-touch networks, zero-person NOC like 12, 15 years ago. But we can recognize there's like a glass ceiling in order to go for further. And that's why we believe, and I believe, this type of frameworks will be in place and are needed in the future. Now, how to enable this type of a mission to come through? Also, I'm piggybacking a TM forum frameworks, and maybe just give you a few fundamentals here. So obviously, it is based on layered architecture. So having business operations, service operations, and resource operations. And within those levels, you have, let's say, autonomous domain are able to, independently make these closed loop activities, which is, let's say, the prerequisite for autonomous networks. Closed loop, it is either within the domain or then obviously, across the domains. And I think the classical example would be this vertical closed loop. For example, kind of dynamic slice management, not only the slice management, but like a dynamic, like real time, and then based on customer needs. And obviously, let's say the communication happens by intents between the different domains, and also you need to build this shared knowledge and intelligence. Some people, they call it AI. Let's call it AI, but at the end of the day, the AI should be, let's say, across all the verticals, same data, same knowledge base to be shared for different purposes. Now, putting this to the content of the Broadband Forum, I'm not the architect myself, but basically, really, let's say, like a simplistic view that, moving from left to right, from this traditional OSS element management systems and network element layers. Like I think we saw earlier today with number of presentations that present few key challenges. You're like a very siloed. It's very vertical. For services, you have, let's say, like top down. Not to mention, you have a number of different like vendors. So that makes you small. That makes you, let's say, not very agile. And therefore, let's say the TM Forum kind of the approach would be adapted. As an example I put here. I think it's like a self-evident. So we have business operations, service operations, and network resource operations. And I guess the topic of today, which already has been discussed, like how to build this autonomy, how to abstract the different domains. And in this case, we call it, let's say, like domain controllers. We don't care if those domain controllers, if they cover kind of the whole kind of fixed access domain, or are they, let's say, like a more granular or different kind of nodes. I believe that in the future it will be more and more, let's say, like a separated, but of course that's something that you discuss with your architects and with your vendors how to best build it, and that's it. Right. Now I think I was myself a bit of asking earlier about where's the value. So I better walk my talk myself. Obviously, you build out the journey with certain use case, and with a certain use case, you show the value, and the more value you show, the easier, let's say, the journey will become within all the stakeholders. There are a few examples here, but I think if I needed to summarize this with the key 3 things, it would be kind of on the assurance side, like a shift left from reactive to predictive and preventive. I think it's a data knowledge driven like operator efficiency. It must have been the presentation from OpenReach from Roger. I think he gave the example that like lots of costs are related to the tickets, field tickets, and multiple teams sent for single root cause with wrong data. So obviously, I mean, the efficiency comes directly from there. And also to add that with autonomous networks, you're able to make the closed loop totally to let's say, verify the issue has been corrected, automated fashion, and learn from those actions. And thirdly, it is like this customer experience driven network operations. Having, let's say, granular individual offers, it is impossible, with the existing like applications, existing structures we have today. There was a presentation from Nokia and Post about how this new type of analytics can actually, let's say, make the difference. I think the challenge will be that that type of assisted analysis, anomaly detection knowledge, how that is being then transformed to the closed loop operations. Right. To finish my part of the presentation, we at Detecon, we are transformational. I didn't have time to present our 6-pillar approach, which is the value, the use case, the process digitalization / operating model, the OS stack or the software and API structure, and then data AI analytics and the people transformation. So this journey is, let's say, huge. Obviously, the technology plays a critical role, but not the only role. But purely, let's say, like a focusing, let's say, like how to manage your technology stack and technology vendors. So maybe it's easier to say than to complete, but we are building something new. So you need to communicate as a telco, you need to communicate your business objectives and longer-term plans, because then you can, let's say, like a demand and discuss with your vendors what would be the fit. And obviously, for such discussions, you need few definitions. Reference architecture, design principles, the API structures, a bit of, let's say, like a roadmap, longer-term roadmap, and a type of use case to start with. And generally, I would say that it's important that there are like so many solutions in the market. So I think it's more important, and the only way that you define what you want to achieve, but then you leave the how part to the vendors, and then you can kind of make this a common design. Collaboration, it's not only, let's say, like for innovation and kind of the cultural thing, but I think it's like really, really dangerous if you as a telco, you leave the software coding, data management to your vendor. Do it yourself, get your hands dirty, and from there you learn yourself. And obviously, the moment you collaborate, you share your data, you share your knowledge, and at the same time, I think you can demand the vendor to be, let's say, like a bit like new business model, like risk sharing and like value-based business models. And I think that's fair, but the only way to demand this would be to work together. And obviously, the evaluation, I think in telcos, we tend to evaluate features and like what have you. But my opinion would be that also evaluate the vendors, how well they actually manage the data, which is typically always the problem, availability and reliability of the data. Are they able to, let's say, like support you in this use case design that you don't need to start from scratch again? And I think the moment of truth would be the to go to production capability. It's very easy to do POCs. It's very easy to do experimentals, but the moment of truth is that we'll take this into production. Hey, that would be my closing words, and then I think Kurt, you will explain that how you see this solution fulfilling, let's say, this type of requirements. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Isa. Happy to be here again. I continue on this story. So I'm going to put it a bit more in solution context now. And indeed, it is transformational. People might think it's science fiction, but it is not. So it's happening, and it's happening very fast. It's happening like we all start using AI, co-pilots and the likes. The same will happen in our industry very fast. So, and it's from human to human assisting to without human intervention. And it's all about the closed loop, as Isa explained very well. So this is our North Star vision of how we believe networks will evolve to autonomous networks. So you see a number of key components here. The first component on the left is intent-based networking. Intent-based networking, abstracting the network, defining what you expect from the network, not how to do that, specifying the business goals of the network, but don't touch the how. It's like the thermostat at home, you set the temperature and all the rest is done for you. That's an intent. It's in integrating the assurance part. There are no two silos anymore, not the fulfillment, not the assurance. It's all integrated in that one single intent control loop. The second is moving into cognitive control. Control like our human brain is working. We are able to read things, we are able to associate things, we are able to build and connect things together. With AI, we can do exactly the same today already. Be assured of that. And that's exactly what we mean with moving to cognitive control. So it's not closing the loop with feedback loops, it's adding into that loop AI agents which are predicting, which are detecting anomalies, which are going to optimize in an autonomous way the network. That by driving the network, by observing the network, by using telemetry, by building training and adopting AI models to find anomalies, to predict the network, to prevent and service impact happens. On the right side, it's about the openness of that network. We should not believe, not as operator, not as vendors, that we can all build those AI agents ourselves. So the importance here is that you open up the system so that everyone can develop their own AI agents and onboard them into the cognitive system, becoming part of the closed loop. Another element you see is network digital twin. My colleague from Bell Labs explained very well, nothing to add here, but those will get step by step integrated in the network. The main problem today in operating networks, whether you like it or not, are the humans. So what and how we are going to do that, before they do something on the network, first apply it on a digital twin of the network and then move that to the production network. The same levels as Isa was explaining. Levels are crystal clear defined. They are adopted from the automotive car industry. They are exactly the same. So TM Forum did not define them. They are adopted from automotive. They are adopted from control engineering. So 6 levels, 0 to 5. 5 does not exist today. So people telling you 5, they are cheating you. It's not existing, even not in the car industry. Musk is close, but not yet there. In between, you have 4 levels, but it's important to distinguish the 4 levels in 2 groups. Level 1 and 2 is where the system assists the human. It's not taking actions by itself. It's not taking autonomous actions. Moving in the space of level 3 and 4, the system starts taking over by itself. No human intervention. It's like in the car, you have braking sensors, you have lane detectors, you have parking sensors that's warning you as a driver. But newest cars do have auto parking, auto lane detection, control, and auto braking. And as you all know, it's scary the first time you experience that because the car takes your control over. And that's exactly how we are doing it. And we see it evolving in our networks context. AI is level 4. So the moment you start using AI as co-pilot or as AI agent means you integrate an AI agent in the loop. So it's becoming part of the loop. A co-pilot as a human assisting entity is on the loop. It's not in the loop. It's not taking and being part of the control. It's a journey, as Isa stated as well. It's a journey. It will take years to get there. But we see very strong, outspoken ambitions by many customers today, moving to level 4 by 2028, 2030. You cannot get there if you start in 27. You need to start now. That's the key. Now, multi-year programs, making big plans, making the targets clear, making the goals very clear. Because indeed today, our average industry is between 1 and 2 only. Don't think we are higher today, it's between 1 and 2 only. There are analyst papers projecting that many of the customers, more than 60% of the operators, will move 1+ level by 2028. It's radically different. So it's not a software upgrade of your network. It's a radical different approach. Moving in intent-based, moving in autonomous access requires you to think different, including the assurance piece in insurance process into the intent is radically different than configuring through FCAPS your system today. Multi-vendor, a lot of functionality will be added actually in the AI agents. You cannot make those AI agents vendor specific. So you need to decouple so you are able to make your AI agents, your intents, vendor agnostic. That's why you need to decouple from vendor agnostic layers to vendor specific layers. Collaboration is already explained. It's very well defined, not only in levels, but also in use cases, what we call in TM Forum operation flows, defined and decomposed in subflows, decomposed in tasks. You cannot go beyond it. It's crystal clear defined at which level and what a specific use case operation flow means, like planning, deployment, complaint handling, fault management, AI fault management, healing, prediction, root causing. It's all defined. No need to redefine it. There is a reference architecture. This is the same picture as Isa explained. This is TM Forum reference architecture with some key principles. So with this architecture, the intelligence is decentralized. Decentralized in decomposing the network in what they call autonomous domains, A, B, C. And really autonomous domains per endogenous principles, meaning they run alone. They have single domain autonomy. They act themselves because they know what they have to act upon. So don't spread it out in your network. Leave all what relates to a domain, home, access, IP in that domain controller. That's where you need to close the loop. That's where you need to apply AI and the likes. What also important, it's not only top-down. We are used to build systems going north-south communication. In TM Forum, we have east-west cross-domain collaboration. Neighboring domains can collaborate cross-domain, not going to the upper layer. So you see, it's all well-defined. The resource operations, the autonomous domains are realized through domain controllers. Some examples to close off here. It's not science fiction. I will share with you two concrete, ready for deployment solutions based on those principles. First one is intent-based networking, cross-domain, going highest level of abstraction. A complex leaf-spine architecture with both IP and fixed access gear is controlled from the upper layer, the service operations layer, by 6 intents only. Only 6. Only 6 interactions. 1 to create the access cluster and 1 per service. If you would do that in a traditional way, it would be more than 184 transactions, including state behavior behind all the transactions. This is to date the biggest abstraction in the world. 6 intents only. And we moved a lot into the domain controller. VLAN management, IP allocation, load balancing, zero-touch provisioning, you insert an SFP, it's all automatic. It's a real customer case, and the customer is here in the room. This is a report by Telecom, so it's not Nokia reporting that. Second one is network slicing. Autonomous domains is there to reduce operation expenses, but also to monetize the network. This solution is real. You can find it on the press. We are deploying this solution. This is not creating slices in a traditional way. This is creating a slice using device fingerprinting, using traffic characterization. So my colleague Philippe explained digital twin to characterize traffic. We have in our home controller an AI agent running, being able to detect you are using MS Teams. And when you detect MS Teams, or when that agent detects MS Teams, it will instantiate the dynamic creation of an end-to-end slice to an MS Teams server. The same for gaming. You connect your game console. We will detect by device fingerprinting others of my colleagues refer to, and we will create autonomously a slice with high quality, premium quality, deterministic latency to the game server. This solution is adopting all 7 key principles as defined by TM Forum, including cross-domain collaboration. So as you see, from the upper layer, the slicing orchestrator only calls the transport controller. Transport controller goes east-west to the access controller, goes east-west to the home controller, and back. And why back? Because it integrates the fulfillment piece and the assurance piece. So each respective domain controller will go into automated assurance within their segment, measuring the latency, correcting the latency, readjusting the latency, taking other parts in the network, all abstracted to the upper layer. And all this, that's my last slide, is based on intent-based networking. And let me repeat here, it's not about intent fulfillment. It's about integrating the assurance part into the intent abstracting the network by closed loop, control loop, evolving to cognitive control. It's also adding in the intent control loop AI agents. Then we call them agentic intent-based networking. So yes, it's still evolving a lot, intent-based networking. And we have already first prototypes where we go in intent suggestions, where actually the network recommends to the upper layer what to do. So the network starts speaking. It's like in my car, that's my last sentence. If I go Friday at home, it asks me, should I bring you to my dad? I just say yes, and it brings me there. That's what they call intent suggestion. That's it.
Superb.